Hello, I'm Teresa Herbig. I'm the author of Cat Tales, and we are here to read for Save the Children, pound Save with Stories. Today we are remembering Lolli. This is Lolli. Actually, my name is Lollipop, but people call me Lolli. I'm a black and brown Toyger cat wearing a leopard body. Life for me began in a Midwestern town. I lived my first years there in a no-kill animal shelter. I'm glad the shelter cared about me and other animals, keeping me alive, well-fed, and loved. Constant hope flowed inside me. I knew someday something great would happen. One day, the shelter manager placed me in a pet travel carrier, and a few other furry friends came along too. I couldn't tell where we were headed, but I felt peaceful, like everything would turn out remarkably. Along the way, I heard someone say, "We're moving to a pet store in the city." I thought, that sounds terrific. Some of the scaredy cats, they scratched and clawed at the doors of the cages, and a few hissed and meowed in a loud commotion. I just wanted to be there in peace, and I didn't want to cause any grief. So I kept quiet. I was trusting in my Heavenly Father. We arrived shortly thereafter. The shelter manager conveyed her love for us and a desire for us to be adopted. Next, they put us in a storefront together. We were in separate cages, but still together. My dwelling included a green rug, a generous food dish, a water bowl, and two pleasant ladies and a gentleman that took care of me every day. They really were kind to us, and we got extra attention. Days went by, even weeks. I couldn't tell how long I had been there, although countless people viewed me and tapped on the front glass. No one adopted me, though. I still had confident belief inside me that God would find a way. One day, around Christmas time, a family arrived with two adopted children, and I immediately fell in love with the daughter. They kept calling her May May. She stood in the area for a long time, and she looked at me constantly, talking to me, reassuring me, and providing smiles. I wanted so badly to leave with her right then, yet I knew I must. I envisioned happy times together, playing games, putting together puzzles. But finally, May May, she went and talked to her parents. She just wanted to adopt me, and she told them, "Lolli is all I ever want for Christmas." The lady at the pet store, she added that I had been there a few months, and it was time for Lolli to go and be with the family and have some fun. As an older cat, Lolli might not get adopted, she added. I saw love in May May's eyes, and soon the rest of the family gazed at me lovingly through the window, and before I knew it, they freed me from the cage. Then May May and her dad came in to visit with me, and I appreciated every moment with a gentle hug here, a pat there, a swipe of my body against their legs. Then the parents assembled for a talk, and next thing I knew, they completed the paperwork. A good indication, I thought. May May remained optimistic the whole time. Next, they rescued me from the enclosure and carried me out of there, and I was so comfortable in May May's arms. May May's father and mother, they paid for my adoption, and they shopped for some extra cat food and materials. Then we traveled home, about 5-minute drive from there. Well, the first look around the home, I had never seen a habitat quite like it. There must be hidden treasures here, there, and everywhere. They settled me inside of May's room, along with cat food, litter, and water. It appeared a superior apartment. It felt spacious and comfortable. I had 2 cat beds in there. I slept in one at first, then after a few trips under the bed and dressers, I hopped on the bottom of May's bed, and I rested there for a while. She didn't seem to mind. I woke up refreshed and alert. May opened her door, and we set out to explore. I came back to eat a little bite and go out and enjoy the day some more. I had found love there. May and her brother Braxton, they created some fun playtime toys for me with feathers. We traveled in an unbelievable car and truck, and we rode all around town over the major highways and streets and maneuvered all over the vehicle. I had fun, and I had flashes of people and buildings going by. I felt an indescribable serenity and adventure in my spirit. When arriving home, the urge came over me. This is a big house I really want to explore. I was really thinking about it. And so I decided I'd go out for an adventure. I felt like a real risk taker. I flew out of the room under the couch. As Grandpa's big hands tried to reach for me, I scurried down the stairs to the basement, and I wondered what was in that dungeon. But I got scared, and so I flew back up the stairs. I ran a few more laps out of bounds. Then eventually I gave in, and I went to bed. I decided I'd rather sleep in May's room and be with May. I needed to resist temptation inside and resolve to better behavior. Making my family unhappy didn't feel so good inside. And on occasion, however, I still jet through the hallway. But most of all, I just like to be with May and my grandparents and my Uncle Braxton. They set up walkie-talkies to communicate. The kids had some late-night fun in their rooms while the parents watched movies. May and I, we lounged in our room watching television, cuddling, reading, assembling puzzles, listening to the radio. I loved watching TV and watching it flicker back and forth. When we needed something, we just buzzed the walkie-talkies to talk with Grandma Rita and Grandpa Galen. Make that Grandma Teresa and Grandpa Galen. Great-grandmother Rita and great-grandfather Ron. That seemed cool. I could hear their voices coming across. Oh my goodness. They assured me I belonged, and my mother and I, we enjoyed our time with our stuffed little puppy, Lolli. I gained an easygoing manner, and I decided I didn't want trouble. I just felt a heart full of family and joy and love, and I am happy, wise, and calm and joyful forever. I had a peace inside me, especially when we prayed, and each night we gathered in the living room to pray. Look at me in the living room enjoying this time of prayer. What a joyous, happy fellowship. What a beautiful, happy time. I sat close to Grandma and Grandpa. Sometimes I climbed on Grandpa's chest, delighting in a head rub and meaningful attention. He read the Bible, and Grandma read the Fruit of the Spirit passage in the book of Galatians. Then we walked around in a circle or went around in a circle, rather, to pray over people in our family prayer jar. I like when the prayers are being answered and everyone rejoices, and I am thankful to share my peace with each member of the home. When we trust in the Lord, our peace should surpass all understanding. It should always surpass all understanding. And that is very important to remember. Thank you for joining us for Cat Tales. Thank you for contributing to Save the Children. That is pound Save with Stories. My name is Teresa Herbig, and you can find me on Amazon.com, Barnes & Noble, and in bookstores online for Cat Tales and Dog Tales. Thank you for joining me today.